Today we're gonna be cooking. Oh yeah, we're in the kitchen today. My favorite room in the whole entire house because it's where most of the food is. I don't know if you can see, but it is raining a lot outside. It's meant to be spring. So anyway, I am finally fulfilling your request of making a dinner meal, which I haven't ever done, I don't think. I'm not quite sure. But this is one of my favorite meals that my mom actually started making it for me. It's not really my recipe. And then surprisingly, I started to find that it's actually a staple meal for a lot of people in the health world. Like I find a lot of like bodybuilders and just people who eat super clean tend to eat the staple meal, especially if they're like prepping for a contest or something like a competition, like a bikini competition. I tend to see a lot of people like to eat this kind of meal. Basically, it's just rice and chicken, and usually it would be rice and white fish fillet, but we did not have any white fish fillets today because they ran out the other day, and I was kind of annoyed because that would usually be my typical meal if I was going to be having this. But instead today I'm going to be using chicken breast, which is a little bit more expensive, which is why I usually don't use it. I usually use white fish fillets because they're super inexpensive. You can just get a bag of them frozen and they're like super cheap. Whereas these chicken breasts, I think they were on deal, so they were a little bit cheaper, but typically chicken breast tends to be a bit more expensive. So if you are looking for a cheaper alternative of this meal, do use white fish fillets. I will try and do another video using the white fish fillets instead of the chicken breast. But today I'm gonna be using chicken breast, and I hope you guys don't mind. So yeah, I guess it's just time to get started and show you guys what you're gonna need for this recipe and all of that good stuff. Righty-ho, so we're going to need some frozen broccoli and frozen spinach. Getting frozen veggies is great because all of the nutrients are locked in those veggies when they're frozen. And you're going to need some brown rice. Make sure you get brown rice and not white rice because brown rice is much better for you. And then here I have my mini breast fillets. Is that what I said? Yeah, mini breast fillets. And yeah, and then I'm going to be using some garlic cloves as well. I just have 3 here. And then I'm going to be using an onion, which is an onion and not very exciting. And then I'm going to be using balsamic vinegar as probably the main flavor because it's such a strong flavor and it's super yummy and it's a super healthy way of flavoring your foods. And then I'm going to be using this garlic and herb seasoning, which is absolutely delicious and it's good for you because it doesn't have added sugars and random stuff in it. Anywho, so I'm going to start off by cooking the rice because it takes the longest. I'm using a rice cooker, so it's a lot easier for me. If you don't have a rice cooker, just read the instructions on your rice packet. It should tell you how to make it on the hob. But anywho, I'm going to leave that rice cooking. Also, I'm going to be cooking my veggies at a low heat so that it just slowly starts to cook whilst I'm doing everything else. Right, I'm going to start off by dicing up my chicken into little pieces. This means that the chicken will cook a lot faster, so if you're making this and you're tight for time, cutting it up into little pieces will make it cook a lot faster, and also means that like it's just nice, like little bite-sized pieces. You can use any oil you want, like olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, all kinds of oils, but I'm going to be using this Fry Light spray oil because it's only 1 calorie and it's pretty simple to use. Plus, this is a non-stick pan, so it doesn't stick too much. I mean, I've abused this pan a little bit, so it does stick a little bit because I did things to it. But let's forget about that. You know, it'll still work out. So I'm just going to be putting in the chicken at a medium heat so that it cooks right the way through and it doesn't overcook on the outside or not cook on the inside. So we're just going to leave that on the hob whilst we head over and start to cut up our onions and our garlic. This is my least favorite part of the whole cooking process because I suck at it. And I'm not going to be using a garlic crusher right now. I'm just going to be dicing them up because I kind of want to have that, you know, garlic pieces in the whole mix because my mom kind of likes that, so I left it in there for her. But you can use a garlic crusher if you want. Anywho, this is how I cut my onions. I like to slice it in half and then I like to slice it down on the lines, and then once I've sliced it down on the lines, I turn it around and I dice it. I probably could have used a sharper knife to make this a lot easier for myself, but anywho, it worked out for the best anyway. I hate cutting onions because it actually makes me cry. Does anybody else get that, like, uncontrollable crying? Like, you can see the veins in my hands popping out because I'm crying. Is that weird? I don't know. My hands can tell you a lot about what's going on in my life. I get really stressed hands for some reason when I'm in a stressful situation. Okay, make sure you're also checking on your chicken regularly and just mixing that all around. They should start cooking very nicely. You can see it's starting to turn a nice white and it's a little bit pink in the middle still, so it's not cooked quite yet. And you can see the veggies in the background cooking nicely as well. So yeah, after that little dance party, the chicken is basically done, so you can add in the veggies now and get that started. Does anybody else listen to music when they're cooking? I don't know, it makes it just so much funner for me. Anywho, so I'm adding in the seasoning now and being very generous with it because it's all about the flavor. And then I'm adding in the balsamic vinegar and I'm being very generous with that too because it's all about the flavor. And you just want to mix that all up and it's basically done now. It's all looking good, it's smelling good, it's all good. And we're heading over to the rice now, which is now done and looking luscious. Look at that rice, loving it. And it's ready to dish up. So as you can see, my plate is quite small. I always use a nice smaller plate because it means that you feel like you're fuller and you don't fill up your plate and pile it all up. And the majority of the plate is filled up with the veggies because that's the most important thing to do first. Fill up your plate with veggies and then the other two, like thirds or whatever, can be filled up with the chicken and the rice. You can also put this in a lunchbox to have on the go. Okay, so that was the recipe for today. I hope you guys liked it and I hope you like these foods. If you do end up making this, make sure you take pictures and tag me in them. I love seeing all of your different creations because usually switch it up, and I love seeing how you switch it up and make it different and super yummy and stuff like that. And if you're a vegetarian and you're wondering how you'd make this meal more vegetarian, then you can, instead of using obviously the chicken, you can try and use tofu, or you can use stuff like beans, which are a really good alternative. But yeah, I actually do have a vegetarian rice recipe that's super healthy and super yummy. I will try and get that up as soon as possible because I absolutely love that. It was so tasty and I think you guys will love it too, so I'll definitely try and get that. I think it's vegan as well. It's vegan and vegetarian, so yeah, it's super clean. And also, you can easily just put it in a lunchbox and take it to school with you or college with you. This lunchbox, if you're wondering where I got it, it's actually my mom's lunchbox. I got it for her for Christmas. It's this like salad lunchbox, but obviously you can put whatever you want in it, but it's perfect for a salad because it has the little container for dressing and it like little sections for like fruit and stuff like that, as you can see in the picture. But obviously you can keep whatever you want in it, and I like it because it had like the knife and fork in it, so like, you know, if you want to eat this and you don't really want to bring cutlery with you, you can literally just use a knife and fork that you connect in the lunchbox. I got it from TK Maxx. I don't know if it'll still be there, but it's from the brand Sistema. So you can probably find them online as well, but yeah, I really like this. It's a cute little lunchbox, easy to fit in your bag, and easy meal that you can have for lunch as well as dinner. Oh my gosh, wait, I didn't do the taste test that I usually do. Okay, I'm having a moment. So I don't know if it tastes really good or if I'm just really hungry. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Stay healthy, stay luscious, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!